Welcome to Two Brothers Reviews, the show where we review films, TV shows, and games. This is episode 1 of a new series, and this week's topic is Fantastic Four: The First Steps.
If you haven't seen the film, there are spoilers ahead, so go and see the film. If you haven't, we'd recommend it. But yeah, going over the plot initially. So the film starts with the announcement that Sue is pregnant.
Right.
And they're in the Baxter building, aren't they? In the bathroom together. I think it's quite wholesome. It's quite a nice moment. You know, she's doing the test. He's looking for the iodine or something like that. And he can't find it. Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, give me 12 seconds." And then she comes out and tells him, and they have their little sort of moment. They hug each other. But yeah, I thought it was quite a nice way to start the movie. You know, quite hopeful. You know, like bringing a baby into the world. Obviously, we know that big things are coming, Galactus and whatnot. So it's a bit like, oh, what's going to happen here? So I think it's quite a good setup scene.
I thought it was quite refreshing compared to just like straight into action, like immediately. It's quite nice to like start it slow instead of like going into it like super quick. We had a new Marvel's logo, didn't we?
Yes.
We had like, it was like, you could tell it was like 50s, 60s, like off the bat from the Marvel logo.
Yeah.
And
it was quite retro, wasn't it? I quite liked the style of it. Bit refreshing.
Earth 828.
Yeah, was it?
It's Earth 828, and it's a nod to Jack Kirby's birthday, basically. Jack Kirby created Fantastic Four with Stan Lee.
Yes.
So quite a nice nod that they did.
Yeah.
There.
Because we were wondering, weren't we, when we watched it, what that was referencing.
Yeah, there's a few in there that we like didn't really know like what was going on.
Yeah.
Nice scene, yeah. To begin with.
Following on from that, it goes to sort of like a quick overview, doesn't it, of the Fantastic Four's like origins. Well, not the origins, but like them first starting up and fighting these villains.
Yeah. So they're celebrating 4 years at that point. So they started in, I think it's like I have in my notes, like 1961. Okay. And they've been on they're celebrating 4 years, so we're currently in 1965.
Right.
That's like where it's taking place. And I'm a big fan on them just skipping out origins that we already know, because like, how are you going to burn through like a whole movie explaining something we already know? It's just so beaten to a pulp at this point. It's just like, why do it? We know why they're here. Have them like established.
Yeah.
So
it's quite boring,
it's like a little montage, isn't it? So
and they're just like saving people. Like I think the railway comes down and like Sue like lifts it up, and like Johnny like sprays fire around it and like fixes it all. It's
cool.
Like, oh yeah, they're all like working together.
It was a good showcase.
Like, yeah. But yeah, no, I agree. I like that it was quite quick. You know, we've seen these characters before. We know where they come from, their origins. We saw it in like the the Fantastic Four with Jessica Alba, like them actually in space getting hit by like the cosmic rays and stuff. So we literally have seen it on screen. Do you know what I mean? Like that actual origin event. So it was good to just cut it out. Just be like, no, it's done.
Or just like that little snippet that they did.
Just a little
it was just fine in my opinion. Like, you didn't really have to do all that. You know, like it kind of makes you feel a bit stupid, doesn't it? Because you're like, why are you treating me like I don't know what's going on?
Yeah, basically. And also you kind of yawn, don't you? You sit there like, oh God, I don't really want to have to watch. Even if it looks good, it's still like, yeah, but we know this already, sort of thing. But yeah.
It showed their first exploration when they went into space.
Oh yes, then
and there's like quite a good point that I want to make like about it. You know, normally it's just like not four random people, but they're not. It's like Johnny and Sue are brother and sister, and Ben and Reed are friends, basically. Yeah. But like here, they're already like scientists as well. Yeah. So it's not like Reed is really smart, like, and all of the rest of them are useless, basically. They're all already like established scientists, and they all kind of like have their own role to play, don't they? Where they all are quite smart, and they all pull their weight. Like, Reed is obviously the smart one, but I thought that was quite cool. That they're not just like, it wasn't just happenstance. It was like, I think he says in it, I like assembled the best scientific minds, and then they just happen to be like those people to him.
It's convenient.
But yeah, down the line that really comes into play. But I really like how Johnny's not a douchebag in the film. Basically, like
Yeah.
off the rip, even when he was saving everyone, like you said before, and he's like saluting the firemen. I wasn't like cringing, like I probably
No.
would with Chris Evans would be.
Yeah,
Like, come
yeah.
on, man,
Like the
like
ladies'
doing all
man,
the,
yeah.
basically.
He's
I,
like
I
a
like,
lovable ladies' man, isn't
I
he?
like how he's not
More.
like a prick in the film. It's
Yeah.
like it's quite good. Evan Moss. Do you know who Evan Moss is?
I don't
The guy
think so.
who mocaps for the thing.
Oh, okay.
He was in The Bear.
Right.
Do you know like his cousin in The Bear?
Oh, his cousin. Yeah.
So you know when they
I forgot.
after
Sorry,
that
yeah.
they're going to dinner, aren't they? And like he
Yes.
comes into the kitchen and he's talking about giving it a little bit of zip.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like a homage to The Bear. And he's been in other food stuff as well.
I didn't even think about
So
that.
yeah, it's quite cool. You know, he's like smashing up
When
garlic
he
with his
crushes
fists
the
and
garlic
shit.
and yeah,
it's
like,
quite cool. So
Fez.
it's pretty
Little
cool.
chef homage. But I really liked as well like what they did with Reed, because I thought they would focus a lot on him because he's so brainy and smart, but they kind of not sidelined him, but they kind of were like, everyone knows you're really smart and you can do this stuff, which kind of gave room for other people like Sue and Johnny to kind of have their bit of more moment in the sun. And like Johnny, I'd say more with his character, like him not being that ladies' man sort of douchebag helped so much with like liking him as a person. But then also Sue, like you saw, she was like a political figure to the world. She was like a mum to the whole world, wasn't she?
She's the political one, isn't she?
She wasn't just like Reed's wife. She was like also, like you said, a scientist, but also like a really smart and a people person. And you can see that with like when she interacts with like Mole Man. Mole Man likes her, but he doesn't like the others because they're not a people person as well as she is. So it's like, I really liked how they gave other characters a bit more room to grow. And still, Reed still had enough to do, but it wasn't that much of a focus on him, and his powers aren't that great for showing off, I don't think. So it's
Shout
a bit
out
like
to Paul Walter Hauser, by the way. He's the guy who plays Mole Man, because he had us creasing like throughout the
he
whole
was
film.
jokes,
Very
yeah.
good. But the scene we're still currently talking about, you know, this montage that's going on and it's showcasing like where they are and what they're doing.
Yes.
There's a one where he's talking about multiverse theory and the kids are like, ugh.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like relatable, isn't it? Because it's like it's so like it's been done so many times now that it's just so boring for us at this point. So I remember like you and me were like both like, yeah, that's hella relatable. When he was like talking about how there's an infinite number of universes on an infinite plane and they're just like, fucking, I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Can't really be asked.
And then he's like, who wants to see me blow something up? And they were like, It's like, that's fair enough. Maybe go back to that, but
yeah, I've literally got, just like you said, I've got Sue Storm to be is the political member of the Fantastic Four. She's
great.
Really good with people, like you said, just backing up. The empty seat that said Latveria.
Yes, Latveria,
it's ruled by Doctor Doom, isn't it?
Yes, apparently, so
I didn't know that when we saw it in theatres.
I missed that. I'm not really massive on Doctor Doom, but I read somewhere that was a nod to him and not being there. But
so good.
Yeah, we'll talk about him a bit later on.
About him later on. Family dinner scene.
Yes.
So we'll move on now.
Yep.
Leads to the discovery of the pregnancy.
Yeah.
It does. It's discovered very quickly, but it's needed to drive the story forward. So I liked how they didn't have it in secret for a long, long time. I like how they literally found out like the same day that Sue and Reed did. I thought that was good. For terms of pacing, it works for the story.
Yeah.
And like cute for the family. Like they have Sunday dinner like every week. Like how can you not love that?
You felt it felt natural, didn't it? Like they do that every week, and I quite enjoyed, like you said, how they took about 2 minutes on it, and then they did like another montage of like baby proofing everything and telling the world that Sue's pregnant and stuff. But they didn't hang on to it for too long. They were just like, right, now we need to start going a bit more with the plot. I can't remember what followed from that. Was it
It's like so the public are betting on whether the baby's going to be male, female, or twins. Yeah. And then
and like Reed is like trying to do loads of tests on it and things like that, isn't he? And he builds that machine to like scan Sue and stuff like that, because he wants to see if she's got like cosmic energy in the baby or something like that. I think that's included in the montage maybe, or just pulled out of it, and you see him do that.
After the baby talk, as we're saying, it led on to them receiving the first transmission from Shalabar.
Oh yes.
Basically, so.
And they record it on the vinyl, don't I
That's
wrote,
right,
that
yeah.
gold vinyl is awesome because it looks pretty sick. Yeah,
I agree. I said gold vinyl too. Ooh. But yeah, they get their first signal translated,
and they kind of like not skim over it, but they don't really draw much attention to it because they get the transmission and then Reed is like to Johnny, come look at my teleportation thing, and he does the egg, doesn't he? He moves the egg.
Yep.
But just before that, they receive the transmission, and he's downloading it onto the vinyl. So I think
it's a way of
like,
isn't it?
Sort of making it seem like, oh, it's not that big a deal when the transmission is quite a big deal. It's pretty important. They probably
would have had like a lot better of a plan mapped out had they like figured out what was happening.
Yeah.
They didn't waste they wouldn't have to waste all that time, would they? Because they would have known like from the signal.
And the language
the Galactus going around just like wrecking all these planets.
But they had to piece it together, didn't they? So it was a bit,
That scene is really good because it Johnny comes in with the cards of the new spacesuits, so they got dust on them.
Yeah.
So it shows that like Reed is complacent about going into space, not just because of the baby, but just because of everyone. Because on some level, he takes responsibility of what happened to everyone, doesn't he?
He's really feels guilty about it. Yeah, definitely.
But definitely cool to show that they've just like got teleporting down to the rip like straight off. Like I like that.
Kind of mad, just showing that like that he can do that. I mean, it just shows how smart he is, I guess. Which is
and he like stretches to like put the thing down. And I made a note about this. I said I like how the stretching isn't overused. I think he does it like twice in normal scenes. He does it to like put something down when he's teleporting.
Yeah.
And he does it. When else does he do it? I can't remember. It will come to me. But
he doesn't do it much.
It took me back to the original like Fantastic Four where he's doing the dancing scene in the club,
and he's like spinning around and twisting himself like all up. Yeah, and he's just such like a piece of shit.
He does it to pull the lever in the ship. That's the other time he does it. He does it like 2 times.
He like reaches over and like pulls it. Yeah, so
I like how it's not. And I had some like PTSD flashbacks to that like dancing scene where he's like.
It makes you remember stuff like that.
How was that?
When you're watching it and you're like, God damn, this guy.
Funny.
Anyway, we'll forget about that Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I hope so. The teleportation device takes too much power. So that's
like
so the not the whole grid, but the building shuts down, doesn't it? And then Johnny like lights up and he tells him to go reset the breaker. It's quite cool how
he looks pretty awesome.
He does that, yeah. The CGI of the fire was done like pretty well.
And it kind of hints to later on that they're going to be using that to help solve, the problem of Galactus and also the amount of electricity it uses and stuff. So it's a nice little setup as well. And then I think after that they do a little bit of they show a bit of the thing, don't they? Am I skipping anything else?
You're skipping just a tiny bit. Johnny starts listening to the Shalabar transmissions. Oh yeah. So I just made a note to say that it's quite cool that he gets his own little B story in this. I mean, he's always working on it. It's not like he does it once and then it's finished.
Yeah.
He starts and he thinks maybe there's more to this, and it turns out to be the only lever that they have like against Galactus. Basically, is trying to they try and use the Silver Surfer basically. But I digress. I just wanted to make a note of that before we moved on. But we are on to Ben now.
Because they establish it early on, and then also later on in the story. Sue says, "Why don't you ask Reed for help?" And Johnny says, "No, Reed's too busy. This is, I've got this." And he does have this.
Yeah.
He's got no problem trying to figure out. I mean, I didn't realise he was that smart, but he decrypted the language. But why not? There's no reason to say that he couldn't do that in this universe. Maybe he is really smart. Not as smart as Reed, but pretty smart. So, but yeah.
Going on to Ben. What were you going to say?
He's like walking around in the street and the kids are like talking to him and, he's quite likeable, isn't he? He's quite like a lovable character and you can see that the world accepts him, which is quite nice compared to the past films where he was always like a reject and an outcast and he always was grumpy and felt bad because of how he looks. Whereas in this one, he seems to have like a lot of self-love and people accept him, which... I don't know, maybe that helps him accept himself a bit. But and then he talks to the teacher because he picks up the car, doesn't he? And he goes to like throw it at them, but he's obviously faking it and puts it down. And then she comes out and they have their little flirty moment. But that doesn't seem to come to much. Maybe
He doesn't have like, do you remember that wife he had in the other film?
Yes.
My goodness.
That was just a nightmare.
I just wrote, loving the new Ben Grimm character, not a mopey loner with a bitch wife, proper Brooklyn guy. Because he is, isn't he? Just like walking around. He was wearing the hat a lot in the film.
Yeah. But it suited him really well, didn't it? Like the style of the movie and like just the outfit and stuff. It just worked. Like.
But let's talk about Rachel. Orange is the New Black lady.
Yeah.
She's Jewish.
Yeah.
Right?
She's
she's from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
She's a lady.
She says
the best.
She says, why don't you come into my school or whatever it is?
She's Rachel.
And then she pops up once more later on and she just says hi.
Basically.
So maybe they're setting that up for something like in the future relationship, but
perhaps
that was a bit pointless.
I guess it was just to show that excuse me, it was just to show that Ben is a lovable character.
Yeah, true.
And it's not just the community that he loves him, but it shows he can have deeper relationships with probably other people, not just like the thing. Do you remember he was talking about how he used to like steal whatever? I remember it was like cannolis or something like that. And he goes, we used to steal them like that. And the kids can hear him on the other side
like
of the street down there.
Away,
I just wrote, these kids have mad good hearing. Because he whispered that and they're all like, ooh.
Ooh, yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, that was funny.
Moving on.
Yeah.
This is when the movie gets kicked off, like, properly. Because Reed has baby-proofed the world, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So we have a scene where we see all these cop cars fly by, and it's mad that they're all flying cars, because everyone else drives normal cars.
So
Reed
he's
and the
obviously
police,
been upgrading the
and
police.
He's advanced technology quite a lot.
Which I don't mention, but it's fine because you would do that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Just like Iron Man and
He'd
his
just pass
technology,
it on, wouldn't he? Yeah, especially to like law enforcement.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. That was baby proofing the world, because they weren't just like not just a montage where they were baby proofing the house.
Yeah.
Which was like had a lot of comic relief in it, with just like Ben just ripping shit apart, which kind of happens. I don't know if you've ever done, like, you tried to open a cabinet with a baby thing on it and you just go, well, fuck it, and you rip the whole thing out.
Yeah.
It's like very doable.
You have to get used to it, don't you?
But not just baby proofing like the tower that they're living in, but baby proofing the world of like all the like low time scum.
True.
Was quite funny before they bought like the big baddie in, didn't they?
Yes. So I'm fixing everything up, but then literally as he does that, the Herald arrives, doesn't she? Yeah, which is pretty. I thought it was a pretty cool setup, and the way she sort of flies in, and then there's sort of like meteors sort of next to her or around her, sort of like suggests that because she's flying through space, she's like carrying the debris with her, and then as she hits the atmosphere, some of it comes with her. Because I was looking around like, what are these things? Because they look like other things flying in, but they're probably just rocks that she's brought in with her flight path or something like that.
Maybe she
goes
was surfing on them.
Exactly.
You don't know.
And we can bring that up later because she does some surfing on a wormhole. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did notice that, where she's transitioning and doing a lot of surfing, and it looked pretty fucking good.
It looked pretty amazing, yeah. But
big fan of
but
that.
yeah, we're getting a little bit ahead, aren't we? Because
yes, we are.
So yeah, Silver Surfer arrives. She does her thing. It's pretty standard for Fantastic Four movies, isn't it? Silver Surfer marks the planet for death.
Yeah.
Heralds Galactus, leaves.
Scary stuff.
Yeah, she looked pretty good. CGI. And yeah,
Julia Garner, I think her name is. Yeah, Julia
I couldn't
Garner.
remember.
She was good.
Yeah, I quite liked her. She could have had a bit of a bigger role, just a little bit, just to show a bit more. We got a little bit of a backstory, but a bit more about her emotion and her interaction with the Fantastic Four. But yeah, I still thought it was good as Silver Surfer. She was pretty good.
Yeah, I wasn't very dismissive of it when I saw it. I didn't find it hard to believe, like, at all.
No.
But you don't have to like play into a role that hard, do you? You can just kind of let it speak for itself, really, which is what Silver Surfer is, isn't he? He's always been like Herald for Galactus. Yeah, basically. But,
exactly.
Anyway, I like how they went different direction in the film. I didn't hate it at all.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Oh yeah, I said Times Square looks dope. Like, I love how Times Square looks. It's like this cool like 60s 50s like retro vibe they've got going on. Then Johnny chases her, doesn't she? We get these really cool shots of like him like in the outer like atmosphere.
Yes.
And he sort of like fizzles out because there's no oxygen for him there, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we get like our first little tidbit.
She speaks to him. Yeah.
Yeah. she gives him a blessing, doesn't she?
in
Gives him
her
a
own
blessing.
in her own language, so he doesn't understand it at the time, but he's in his head. He's like, I've heard that before, isn't he? That's sort of the.
Needless to say, he is absolutely smitten as well. Like he cannot stop talking about
He
this
is-
chick like throughout the whole film.
What did I write here? I wrote Johnny misses space. Space appears to him as Silver Surfer woman, because literally he misses space and space comes to him like, hey.
Yeah, pretty good.
So I thought that was quite cool. But yeah, so she speaks to him, and then she sort of throws him off her board, doesn't she?
Yep.
But more in a gentle way, as he says later on. And how she spoke to him was warm, in his words.
Jesus.
But yeah, he's just in love with Space Lady, isn't he?
And then it's time for second launch,
Yes.
isn't it?
And I think this is where the movie really starts to get going.
He shares that he
So-
spoke to her as well, and it's good that he doesn't get ignored, because you know in a mainstream Marvel movie he would just get fucking swept under the rug and they'd be like, don't care, like we're busy. But every time he's got something to say, they actually hear him out, and it really helps them to like actually Victor.
Sue says you're onto something, doesn't she? Basically, like to give him confidence. Like, yeah, you'll keep up working on it. And then so yeah, she flies off, and they start doing research, don't they? They're trying to figure out where she's going. They're like tracking her, but they can't track her because she's too fast. They're tracking where she's been, and then I think they decide, right, we need to go and talk to him, Galactus, don't they? Am I missing a bit in between there?
No, you're right.
Yeah, it's fairly quick.
Herbie, you know, this robot that's in the
Yes.
film. Do you know he's practical he's practical effects?
Effects.
Yeah,
he
so
looks
he's,
it. To
so
be
he's
fair,
built. He was made out of wood, I believe, for like
Wow.
some shots where they could like do his inflections and stuff. Sorry, his expressions. And then there's other ones where he's got like an electric lawnmower like motor in him,
Wow.
and they can like drive him about and shit for like other
That's
things.
crazy.
I just
didn't
think it went
know-
a really long way, considering it wasn't that big of a part.
Yes.
They could have just been like, fuck it, just CGI it, but they didn't. And I really like how they went like the more difficult route, basically.
Yeah.
Where they had like 3 different versions of him, and they used like all those versions.
Yeah.
Because gets a new. Did I say he gets a new tape? They
Yeah.
pop a space
Yeah,
tape in his
they
face.
pop it. Yeah, and
Pretty
it's like,
good.
yeah, like okay.
I like that.
It's
Very
like
cool.
like Tars, but B-Tech version of like Interstellar, isn't it? Like
Everything in the film sort of is techie, but it sort of has this like 50s, 60s retro feel where everything's like circular and kind of
Yes.
chrome, really, isn't it? Everything's like a very sleek color.
yes, definitely.
They get their new spacesuits,
Yeah,
which Johnny is
Johnny's
very happy
gassed,
about.
yeah.
Did you notice that when they first went up, they had their oxygen mounts in their hands, and then when they go up now, it's mounted on their back?
No,
So they've advanced like quite a lot.
That's a nice
Even
spot.
though he's been putting it off, he's still like been upgrading it to make sure they don't have to like lug around this massive fucking suitcase.
That's
basically.
a good spot. I didn't see that.
I'll splice something in. But I did notice that when in that first montage, when they are
And to help with
going
Johnny's
up to
flying,
space.
of course, because he needs the oxygen, doesn't he? So he had to sort of put it in a way where Johnny could fly with the oxygen.
I really
tank.
liked that as well.
Yeah.
It was cool. He got
He
got
thought
a little
about
bit
it.
of extra knowledge with it as well,
Yeah,
didn't he?
yeah.
So, but we'll get to that anyway. Yeah, a really nice scene with Reed and Ben before they take off, and
Yeah,
he basically tells him to like can't stop worrying, basically. And he says to him, "You're basically smart in a lot of ways, but in other ways you're not."
yes,
He says, he calls him Stretch, doesn't he? And then he says, "I got news, you're not that smart."
yeah,
And you actually find out that Reed doesn't have a driver's license.
yes.
And I don't think you ever see him drive once in the film, like not the car, not the spaceship, not anything.
Right.
'Cause he's really smart at other things, but he can't do
Yeah.
basic things like cook or
Yeah.
drive a car.
Other stuff,
basically.
yeah.
So I just thought it was quite funny. I just put Reed has no license, lol.
Yeah, no, it is funny to. It's like showing everyone has strengths and weaknesses, isn't it? And they show that in the cast and
cool.
the characters, that everyone has their roles to play, and yeah, someone who you don't think they will might shine and do something unexpected, like Johnny being as smart as he is. You know, that's just an example.
We go to launch day.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
a lot of hope from the world. They all think everything's going to be fine, and everything's going to be sorted by the time they
Oh
get
my
back, don't
God,
they? They
yeah.
have so much faith in them.
little did they
It's
know.
kind of refreshing though to have a world where everyone is on board, isn't it? Like
they're just backing it, like
yeah,
no,
you
no
just think like
worries.
in most other films that there'd always be someone nagging or complaining or saying that the Fantastic Four are the worst or they did but in this world just everyone's just on board just until obviously they're not. But even then, it doesn't get that bad when they're not on board. You have a bit of a crisis moment, but You know what I mean? It sort of
they just trust them quite a lot,
exactly.
don't they?
Yeah.
It's kind of strange how much they put their faith in it, but I think it serves the story like quite a lot, because then when the public turns on them eventually, it's got so much more like validity to it, because it's like they did actually like trust them, and they did promise them that they'd keep them safe.
And they're just scared, aren't they?
They're only four. They are superhuman, but they're only 4 people in the end of the day, aren't they?
Exactly.
But no, we get to launch day. Ben's spacesuit isn't sealed around his neck.
Oh.
So everyone else is sealed off it because he's got that fucking skin.
Yeah.
He doesn't need it. It's cool. I think it's like, at the start when he's actually like towing that ship into the bay, isn't he?
Yes.
I think he needs to breathe, but like obviously he wouldn't be affected by pressure, would he? So he could pick up the anchor and drag it along.
Yeah.
But yeah, he doesn't have a seal around his neck.
Wow.
You can see like
I didn't actually notice that.
See his rocky neck.
That is pretty cool. Little detail there.
What do you think about this spaceship? When we're about to like go off, they're sitting in these seats that look like they're from Wall-E, and they don't have any headrests on them. So I was thinking, watching the film, I was like, if you were to actually do that, these motherfuckers would have no neck.
Yeah, the G-force
would just wreck them.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was cool design apart from the chairs.
Yeah, that's sort of what I thought. I thought the outside looks amazing. It's called Excelsior, isn't it? I think they call it that. Yeah.
That's from the comic. Would you think? Like,
I think that's what I thought initially, but it is from a comic from one universe where their ship is just called Excelsior. Because I think in other ones it's called something else in other universes.
I thought it was.
But I thought it was Stanley as well, because he goes Excelsior, doesn't he? In that.
But yeah, we're
in the Avengers.
We're
film.
traveling to Galactus now. Like there we.
Yes. And then I wanted to say, before they go to Galactus, they travel to the hyperspace ring, which kind of reminded me of the hyperspace rings from Star Wars. When the starfighters lock into them, and they use them as like a boost point to save them fuel so they can go further distances. It kind of reminded me of that, but in a different design, because they clip into it, don't they? And then they fly off with it.
It would make a lot of sense. And it's FTL.
Faster than light travel, probably?
Light. Yeah, probably light, isn't it?
Because that's when he said FTL, I was like, surely that's what he means.
Yeah.
So yeah, they travel. I thought that was sick. They bop into the faster than light travel. It's like a wormhole. They like the space bends as they go into it, and you see the ship sort of disappear into it, and then they're flying through, and it looks all. You can see out the window. It looks all cool, doesn't it? With the stars. Very
hard not to copy Doctor Who when you're doing stuff like that, isn't it?
And Interstellar with what's coming as well. Right. So it's like, you're treading on
thin ice.
Scary ground here, because people have done this and done it really well. But I think they did so good with it. But anyway, we'll get to that in a sec.
They did it really well. Agreed.
So yeah, they travel to Galactus' ship. They're going to talk to him. Sue is first woman in space that's pregnant. I like how they talk about that briefly, and Sue says, I'm thinking about it all the time, but I just don't speak about it. Kind of reminded me of like a lot of mums who just think about a lot of things but don't speak about it because they keep it to themselves. Her worries, her concerns. She doesn't care. She's going to fight Galactus or save her world, make an agreement, you know what I mean? But then they get there and it doesn't go as planned, does it? So
no, they pretty much run into this planet muncher like straight away, don't they? And this thing is like, it looks like something from Transformers, doesn't it?
That's what I was going to say.
What are you going to say?
It looks like the what's his name? The Omega ship, or you know what I mean, the one who comes to collect Optimus.
The vacuum thing.
It's just that god awful thing that that even a Transformer could walk through, because it's so huge, isn't it? It gives you that scale of
Galactus
massiveness. Yeah.
Before we jump in, I just wanted to note no artificial gravity on the ship, which is good.
Yeah.
Very fitting, because a lot of films just like abuse that, don't they? I believe if a ship rotates on its axis
then
or has an orbit, then it can have artificial gravity. So I like that.
And also no atmosphere, because Johnny was burning through his oxygen when he was flying, wasn't he? And they're all wearing their suits.
Right.
Because Galactus and Silver Surfer obviously don't need that.
Yeah. Reed says if he's just some big baddie in a ship, then they can punch him out.
Yeah.
So
and that's kind of what he is.
That was cool. Yeah, I like that. But I don't think you're going to be able to punch him out just like that.
And then, as you mentioned, Silver Surfer and Johnny have another little moment, where it's pretty crucial, isn't it, that he gets that information.
So they're in the ship, and Reed asks Herbie to collect materials.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they've got an appointment with Galactus.
They're walking through.
Like, Galactus will see you now.
Yeah.
And I think she said you shouldn't have come either. So
Yes.
she pretty much knew that he was probably just going to rob the baby like straight up.
Yes.
Like out of her.
She was ready for what was to come, sort of like, oh no, here we go, I'm going to have to do this without any choice. Galactus will make me. But yeah, I thought it was quite cool them having their moment, and then he's like, one more question. So is the board like an extension of yourself? And then she just flies off. It's like no,
off, like,
you've had enough.
what are you
Like,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah,
Like,
sort of like you don't need to
it
know
was
that.
really, really good. Oh my
but
goodness.
sort of things that people wonder as well, like fans. You know what I mean? Like, is the board part of her, or is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like some riddles, doesn't it?
So yeah, he flies back to the group after that, doesn't he? And then they just carry on walking to their appointment with Galactus. And fuck me, when they get to Galactus and they look up at him, he looks unreal.
I like how they just stuck true to like what he is. Like, they didn't fuck about, did they?
No.
He's very intimidating.
And they
I
don't
think,
show his whole body.
yeah.
He's just sitting down, isn't he? Just
chilling.
chilling, like strapped up to his planet eater, getting all his juice from obviously that last destruction.
Right.
Because that's what I was
you know,
wondering.
I had no idea how that worked because like, I don't think he actually eats them in the comics.
That's
like,
what I was wondering. I was like, are they going to do it that way where he literally devours it himself?
Yeah.
But they didn't do it that way, did they? Because he has a ship, and the ship is connected to him. And when
that's what that was.
So they have their talk with Galactus, don't they? And then he asks for Franklin, Sue's baby.
He tries to strike up a deal, doesn't he?
To spare the Earth, he will take Franklin because he
Goodness.
has the power cosmic, or whatever he says.
Right.
And they obviously refuse. So,
As you would.
So they start.
Why would you
Well,
do that?
is it Johnny? Isn't it? Johnny is the one who starts sort of distracting Galactus.
Yeah, he gets a good few licks in before he can even do anything.
And he blasts out one of the connecting tubes that's on his back, and lava spews out.
Right.
And that's what made me think that maybe the ship is connected to Galactus, and the ship eats the world, collects all the debris, and then churns it into Galactus, literally feeding him.
I had no idea, but that's literally what it is.
That's
isn't
what I
it?
thought.
Yeah, because as they're walking to him, you have shots of like grinders crunching up the rocks, and obviously he wouldn't need to devour that, so that's probably just waste to him, isn't it?
Yes.
And he just gets all like the rich core
Whatever
of all these planets, isn't it?
I don't know the ins and outs, but
I can't believe you actually like figured that out. I've been rattling my brain about that because like
I was thinking
I'd be
about
like,
it.
why doesn't he just eat it? Like he's big
Yeah.
enough, but then like how is he going to step onto the planet if he can eat it? And I think in the comics he can grow and shrink,
Yes.
but why not do something different?
Yes.
And it works really well.
And it does. Because they could have made him because he's big in it, but they could have made him bigger, couldn't they?
Yeah.
Like the size where he could literally eat the planet. But
Like
that's not very
his
exciting.
head is like the size of a planet.
It's not
and,
very
like,
exciting to have a villain like that, is it? Because there's no competition there. You kind of need him to be at least a bit on the ground. Even though he is as big as he is, they can still fight him in some way, which they do. But I love that part where they show Galactus' ship because I didn't expect it. It was something new that we've never seen before, and it's a character that hasn't really been explored properly. And he is really, really cool the way he looks, isn't he? And the way he's just a force of nature, and he doesn't do it because he wants to. He does it because he needs to. Is that I think he's really cool about him.
He definitely has a purpose, doesn't he? Like he's just trying to satiate, and he says rest, doesn't he? He says rest quite a lot. He really wants this rest. He induces labour in Sue,
Yes,
which I thought was absolutely mad. So he politely asked for the baby first, and then when they refused, he decided to induce labour in Sue
with his eyes.
Yeah, which is definitely interesting, isn't it? But probably could be done if you have telekinesis, which he does, doesn't he? So
yes.
I
But
just
you
thought that
wouldn't
was
think
a bit
he
mad.
would go to the trouble, would you? But I guess he really wants that baby.
Probably just wanted to nick it like there and then.
Yeah. But definitely puts them into crisis, doesn't it? They all start to sort of like, right, we know what this guy's all about now. There's no agreeing with him. There's no deal to be made. Sue's in trouble. We need to get her out of here.
They get out by the skin of their teeth, don't they?
Yeah.
Johnny's run out of oxygen, so he basically passes out halfway through.
Yeah.
Ben just gets pieced up a couple times by Silver Surfer, whilst Reed is sort of like escorting Sue out of it. But they do make it out.
And Sue has it's sort of a little inkling of what's to come, where the Silver Surfer is gone for everyone, and it's just Sue. And then Sue pushes her away, like, fuck off, you're not getting Franklin. And she falls into the lava, and she's incapacitated for a little bit. And that gives them the chance to escape. If Sue wasn't there or didn't do that, Silver Surfer probably would have got Franklin then and there. So it's sort of like a little showing as to what Sue can do, how her powers are a bit different to the others because she can do that to people.
I didn't notice that first or second time I was watching it, so it's a really good point to make.
I just
Because
thought,
you wouldn't think that she would shine, like particularly how Jessica Alba had to get like naked, didn't she? If she didn't have her suit to like be invisible.
Yeah.
And I like how her part was like wasn't degrading at all. Like it was it's very well done. We've said it before, but like that's a really good mention. Like the fact that she's kind of like not the best out of all of them, but she's definitely like most powerful in terms of what she can do, because she has like this variety of things that she can do, and she's also very strong as well. Like she can control her powers very well.
Yeah.
Whereas if like Johnny like passes out, then that's it, isn't it?
Or if it's anything out off Earth or without an atmosphere, he's going to struggle. But yeah, her powers are sort of on another level because she can manipulate people, even if they're a cosmic being. But obviously, we'll talk about that a bit later on as well.
They get onto the ship and then they shoot a hole and then fly out. And then later in the film they say conventional weapons won't work. So I feel like that's a bit of a plot hole, but I feel like they were probably talking about Galactus, weren't they?
I think
not
so.
the ship, because you can destroy the ship, but you're not going to destroy.
I think
Galactus.
that's what they meant. They were just punching a hole through the ship, but then Galactus is different because he's yeah.
I just thought like that was the only plot hole that I found in the movie, that they deliberately just like got out just by going pew pew.
Well, maybe you thought Galactus' ship is Galactus, which I sort of thought as well at the time. I thought they were one thing, but like they say in the movie, you strand Galactus without a ship, he's stranded. So they are separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
So
yeah,
like
fucked big time.
Yeah, exactly. So,
the Silver Surfer trying to reach into Sue's womb was
messed up. That was like, what if she got him? What were you gonna do? Rip out a newborn baby from a womb? Well, not rip it out, but you know what I mean. Use phasing
to drag him out, like
and then it's going to be just there with the umbilical cord, and you're just going to take that bit, like that is messed up. Like just take Sue, try and grab Sue rather than try and grab the baby. That might work a bit better.
Definitely had me on the edge of my seat when she did that. She got a couple fingies in there.
She
didn't
did.
She?
That's probably what they were going for, weren't they? Like, what if she did manage to? But it just, you don't want to think about it, do you? Really?
Not really.
But yeah, that was a close call. But they do manage to jump into what do they call it? FTL. And they think they're safe, but then who decides to pop back in? The Herald, because she can travel faster than light as well, of course.
Damn.
So yeah, she pops back in, and
this is where we first see her surfing on shit,
and I didn't notice that in the first time we watched it. We watched it in 3D as well, so I don't know if it would have been more obvious or less obvious. Because of everything popping out from the wormhole. But yeah, she comes in and she does that skirt on the edge of the wormhole, doesn't she? She rides up the edge of it and then comes off it and goes into the middle. And it just looks so good.
Well done. She does it a few times.
Yes.
So it's like, how does that surfboard behave? Like, if it's like flying in space, then it's like just suspended in air. But if there's something she can glide on, then there's resistance she can push.
Exactly.
You know what you're talking about? I don't know if she did that purposefully or if she like skims it by accident.
Yeah, you can't tell.
She like hits her shoulder on it basically.
Or she's like riding the wave.
I like the idea that you said, like she's purposely like goes into it to correct herself. Yeah, basically. But quite mad. And
then they're trying to shoot her, aren't they? With the cannon beam things, and they keep bending, and that kind of looked like a bit of Star Wars with the turret on it, and he's like, Johnny like bends the beam in it, he shoots it and it goes all the way around and like literally a 360 and pings her, and you just think that's a sick shot, Johnny, to have to calculate that. Do you know what I mean? I fire it here and it goes all the way around and pings her on this side,
really good, and
it fires her off to her surfboard, doesn't it? And she's off it for about 2 seconds, and then the surfboard sort of levels and she pings back onto it, which looked really good as well.
Again, isn't it an extension of her? Is it like, who knows? But she pinged back on that motherfucker, didn't she? She was not off it for longer than like 3 seconds, and then pursuing them again.
And then they try and figure out a new solution, don't they? Because they're obviously not going to outrun her. She can phase through the ship, right? So that's when Reed's brain comes into play. And the more I thought about this part, the more it became a bit like, is this right? So Reed gets the idea to trap her in the black hole.
Okay.
Or at the event horizon, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So they come out of fast and light travel, and they go to the black hole. And then she's chasing them, and they get close to the event horizon, and then she gets trapped for a month but they don't get trapped at all.
No.
For not even for a week.
Did you... So what actually happens is when they're in the FTL and they're going towards the wormhole, Sue makes the ship invisible and they just dip out.
Yeah.
And then the Silver Surfer is still chasing the FTL with nothing in it.
Yeah.
So...
but I think I'm being a bit nitpicky.
Yeah.
Because, Interstellar...
Yes.
So they're on the Tide planet.
Yep.
And they're not that close to the black hole. They're on the outskirts and this planet is circulating.
Yeah.
And every 2 seconds is a day.
Yeah.
So that's got, in my mind, I'm thinking that if you're even tiny bit close to a black hole, time is flying by.
Yeah, going really, really quickly.
So I don't know if they explain it in the movie and I missed it, or if that's just something that they're not really that worried about because it's a superhero movie. But Silver Surfer was trapped for a month and they escaped a little bit before she did, just a little bit. So surely they should have been trapped for at least 2 weeks or so, what I mean, something like that.
We said that this film is a bit jumpy with time, and it doesn't. We don't get a lot of dates or 1 month, 2 months later, which again you don't really need. But we said when we left, it would be nice to add a bit of context to the film to sort of tell us what happened. But the way I see it, the Silver Surfer chased the FTL into the hole, and they were never even remotely by it. Because Sue made the ship invisible, they go, and then they're already gone, and she's like still checked because she like couldn't see either. Yes. She was riding on that sand as well. That wormhole sand.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool.
No, I think I'm being a little bit nitpicky, but it did make me think like, how gravity works.
Yeah.
When you're close to a black hole, time changes, but time could have changed, and they just didn't explain the distance of time between them returning back to the Earth and them leaving the Silver Surfer. Maybe they were traveling in space for over a month.
I think they were, because number one, they didn't have FTL, and number two, they didn't have any fuel to get back, so they were just riding orbits off other planets to get home. And by the time Franklin returns, he's like an infant, whereas when he's born on the ship, he's a newborn, isn't he?
Yes.
Obviously. But
so they do show some passage of time,
but you have to figure it out for yourself, and it's like you wouldn't know that watching the film first time.
I guess
because he's wrapped up in Sue as well when they get back.
True.
Just with the birth as well, like she was pregnant, then she's got this massive baby belly, and then the baby's coming. Like there's a big jump.
I didn't think about that. It goes from like no belly to full belly, doesn't it?
Yeah,
pregnancy belly,
basically. And there's no how long has that been? Like obviously it's like over the scale of like 9 months, but how
are you supposed to?
That's a massive jump to make and just not say anything about it.
Yeah.
The baby scene's quite good. I thought, again, the cast have really good chemistry. So it's nice that they sort of join in one by one. Yeah. It starts off with just her and Reed being together, and then Ben joins to assist, and then Johnny can kind of come in when the babies come as well. Not an ideal place to have a baby.
No, and it does look kind of gross, doesn't it, in space? Do you remember when it first comes out and you see the hand? It's sort of like that slimy wetness of a baby, but in space, and it just, maybe it was the 3D as well.
The 3D.
But you remember we were both kind of like, yeah. It was kind of like gross.
I mean, I know that's coming from guys, that's like pretty rich to be like how dare you like make light of something like that. But I remember you and me like visibly wincing like when we saw that hand like
it just
pop
looked
out.
A bit like slimy.
And
more slimy than usual, and
bit perpy as well.
And we have witnessed the slimy baby before in our sister, so
definitely. But no, really good chemistry. When they return home, they land, but on their first exposition they crashed. So again, it's nice to see that they're progressing in their technology.
Yeah, because they get rescued from the water, don't they? Yeah, you're right.
I thought that was a good little tip. But the euphoria of the Fantastic Four returning quickly fizzles out, doesn't it?
Yes.
Like, very quickly. Do you want to build on that?
Yeah, so they get back, and the Fantastic Four get asked, what, are we safe? Is everything sorted? Expecting for them to be like, yeah, we sold everything for you guys. You don't have to worry. Go home, have a cup of tea, put your hands up. Put your feet up. No, that's not what happens at all, is it? Well, what does Reed say exactly?
They ask, are we safe? And he says, I don't know.
Yeah.
Which is not what you want to hear from Earth's Mightiest Defenders.
And he tells them that Galactus asked for the child to spare the Earth.
Yeah.
And no one says it, but everyone's kind of like, so like,
gave him up then,
yeah.
right?
And he's like, no, I didn't.
Obviously
I
not.
wouldn't sacrifice my child. So, but the thing is, you don't get an angry mob instantly, which I like. You get this sort of like, what are we gonna do, sort of thing. The Fantastic Four haven't saved us. Like, where do we go from here? And then, like you said, when that guy asks him, "Are we safe?" and he goes, "I don't know." That's like the first time they've heard that.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do we do?
Yeah,
They're really panicking.
They suddenly can't rely on these people that they can just be like, just love and adore, basically. Because
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not all positives. They didn't really show a lot of negatives in that world, apart from when the mob do kind of like turn on them.
Yeah.
But
you can't focus on that
point.
too much, because I think it takes away from the story when
Yeah.
you start to focus on the society side too much. Just focus more on the characters, and then bring in a bit of that society, which I think they did perfectly in this movie.
Yeah.
Is having the balance between it. When to have the opinions of people like that, the reporters and the public, and when to just forget about that and focus on the story a bit more and the characters. So yeah, they tell the world, and I like how Sue doesn't really. She just takes Franklin and walks away, and Sue and Reed and the others speak to the world a bit, and then they go away as well. But Sue doesn't really show the world Franklin until later on in that I thought really good moment when she basically levels with everyone.
yeah, I think it's cool.
But yeah, I don't know if I'm missing something before that bit as well, because it's not.
It's just basically we have said it, but Shalabar escapes and she returns to Galactus, and there's no indication of how long it's been, how much time has passed, which we thought was confusing again.
Apart from Reed saying she'll be stuck for a month, you don't know if she actually has been stuck for a month.
And then Galactus basically says that he must have the baby, and he just says he's just a boy, and it's like, that's pretty rich coming from the person who nearly just like snatched a baby out of a womb, basically with the fucking umbilical cord still attached. I just thought it was a bit jumpy in terms of her character. Like, she's very well done, but like, I know she's doing it all for Galactus, but was she actually going to do that?
If she's doubting it, then...
I don't even know. Like, I doubt they would have even like gone through the trouble of like bringing Sue back to get Franklin. They probably would have just taken Franklin like by force.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah, so they get back. They're just sort of like chopping it up, and they're asking Reed like what he's got. Yeah. And you've got like Ben holding Franklin in just like one hand, like a little tic tac. And I thought that's really cute, because he said he's like reading the books as well.
Yes.
So he's clearly taking the role of an uncle very, very seriously.
It's really sweet, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it.
Him and Johnny being the proper loving uncles.
Yeah, which they said they were going to be.
And no like competition between like Reed and Johnny, which you kind of had in the other films, you know, like being a bit like boyish with each other. They're just friends, innit? Just like they're cool guys. They want to raise they all like their family together. So the world is pretty angry, and they do start kind of mobbing a bit. They start gathering outside the Baxter building, don't they? And they kind of, the Fantastic Four are sitting around the table talking about it, like what are we going to do? Make any notes about that bit, because I thought they're just chopping it up, but nothing's really going to happen, because in this world, I don't think they're going to try and get this baby, or they couldn't do anything anyway to give it to Galactus, so they're going to have to work with the Fantastic Four at some point. And then Sue comes out, and she basically says she'll move heaven and earth for them, as well as for her child, doesn't she? Yeah,
she basically says that she wouldn't trade Franklin for Earth, and she wouldn't trade Earth for Franklin, basically, like vice versa. Yeah. So she made a really good point to say that she's got like something bigger than her to worry about. Yeah. And they are kind of going to stick to like their promise that they made. Yeah. Like, even though that they're not going to give up their son, because like who in the right mind would, they are going to find like another way around it, because they are this like tight knit family at the end of the day who kind of work through stuff. And that the world is their family too. Yeah, it's quite nice, isn't it? And yeah, I feel like it was a really good way to deal with the situation. I mean, sure, it wouldn't solve everything, and there'll definitely be people in that world still scared, pissed off, saying they should give Franklin back. But most people probably were like, you know what, fair enough. Yes. And saw reason, which I think is quite hopeful as well, which is why I think this film is quite hopeful. It gives a hopeful message about humanity in a way, and how we can work together. And even though we do sometimes struggle and have, you know, bicker and make mistakes, we can still come together again, sort of thing. Yeah, very nice. Very symbolic. I like that. Yeah. little backstory with Sue as well. I don't know if that was her origin always of her mum,
I'm not sure either,
of her mum
actually.
dying or whatever, but it definitely added a lot to the scene, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was quite good. Very well done. They've come up with their solution now, haven't they? Like through this.
Yes.
So
they get their lever.
yeah, in Sue saying that she'd move heaven and earth, they're literally going to move Earth away from Galactus.
Yeah.
So they are going to set up teleportation like grids all over the Earth, and they're going to basically teleport the Earth away from Galactus, so he can't get to them for like however many years. I think he said millions, but something like that.
So he'll be like so far away from them.
So it's like their first plan, and it is a bit crap, but like it's nice again that the film is moving forward like in a direction. They're not just like stuck in a rut. The stations again show that the Earth just like unify when they need to, which is quite nice, because they say the countries are all working together, and
to build
wouldn't you, if there was an exterior threat?
Yeah, and you needed those pillars or bridges all around the world. Everyone would need to do their part, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So, and I wrote as well, it's again similar to Transformers. Do you remember the pillars?
Oh,
Sentinel Prime uses the pillars because he wants to transport Cybertron to, and I thought this is really similar because they're just called bridges, but they're basically pillars as well, and they're all around the world,
3 pillars.
and it's teleporting Earth to somewhere else. It's the opposite of Transformers Dark of the Moon.
Yeah.
But
film.
I thought that's funny. No, I just thought it's funny that they probably didn't take that from that, but it was just quite similar. So
pretty good.
Yeah.
They demonstrate what they're going to do, which is quite nice. It's nice for the audience. It's nice for the public, isn't it? But did you notice that the science show is called it's called Fantastic Science with Mr. Fantastic?
No, I didn't even see that. And
that's kind of the first homage to him being, obviously he is Mr. Fantastic, but he's never called it in the film, is he? So I thought that was quite nice that they actually had Mr. Fantastic in writing. It's pretty cool. Everyone knows him as Reed Richards though, don't they? Yeah. Especially because he's been in Marvel like previously, hasn't he?
But it's like a little reference, isn't it, to his, I suppose, classic name.
Pretty good name as well. It's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah. And yeah, I think, so during all of this, Johnny is deciphering the language properly as well, and he figures it out, doesn't he, in the end. He's been reading different transmissions from the same planet, Shiabal's planet? Shalabal's planet.
Yeah.
And yeah, he basically uses them to decipher it and can now sort of, I suppose, speak to her, because he does, doesn't he?
It's quite cool.
She comes back to Earth to prepare the Earth for Galactus finally arriving, and starts destroying the bridges, doesn't she?
Yeah, you're missing this power outage bit. Do you remember when they have to conserve power?
God, yes.
So before we get a rude awakening from the Silver Surfer, the whole world agrees to a power curfew, don't they?
Yes.
And if this was to happen like nowadays, do you really think the entire Earth would stick to it? Absolutely not.
There's no chance.
No way. So I just made a note of that, saying that it's quite funny that, Ben can't even shave his face. When in nowadays, motherfuckers all over the world would be doing whatever they want whenever they want.
I want to play Fortnite.
Yeah, exactly. Like fuck, like, I don't care if Galactus is coming. I just want to play my PS5.
They're
or
lucky
whatever.
that world.
So funny.
In that world, everyone is so working together, because otherwise, that would not happen.
There is a really cool scene as well. When you said Johnny figures out the language, he's like deciphering it. He's using his flames as light when they're in the power curfew.
Yes.
So he's like reading through all the papers, and even though he's probably going to set the paper on fire, he's using his own fire as a light source, which I thought was quite cool.
That is cool.
We learn a bit about Shalabal, don't we? Like we get a little bit of backstory.
Yeah, a little bit. Not too much, but.
Why don't you say what you were going to say? Because now we're leading into that. So Shalabal comes back. They're going to teleport the Earth, aren't they?
Yeah, they're gearing up.
Prepping everyone.
They've saved all the power. They're ready to do it. And then literally just before they do it, she comes and she blows up one of the bridges, and then loads of others, doesn't she?
She's just bopping all around the Earth, isn't she? I think she does all of them except Times Square.
Oh, right.
She does every single one except Times Square.
And then, she's doing that, and then Johnny, as he's deciphered the language, starts to chase her to stop her, basically.
Yes.
And then
this is where we get the backstory, isn't it?
Yes. Well, it starts transmitting the messages.
Yeah.
And then, that's when you get the flashback, don't you, to her backstory.
So her planet was going to get devoured by Galactus, but she said, "Take me instead and spare my planet," basically. And then Galactus turned her into the Silver Surferess, or something like that. But it's pretty ironic, isn't it? Because she's going around picking all these planets when she couldn't even just like firm it herself, basically. And it's like she couldn't really accept or let go of her planet. And then she's now got to choose the fate of all these other ones. Yeah. It's a bit of a crap point, but I just thought it was quite funny.
No, I think it's good. And then Johnny forces her to confront it, because she's probably been flying around, you know, she does the planet, it gets destroyed, and then on to the next one. She probably doesn't think about it too much, because it would destroy her if she did.
Right.
But him playing all these transitions from other planets that have been destroyed, you know, when he says, "What about these ones?"
Yeah.
And she starts to freak out and then fly away, and then Johnny sort of flies after her. I think they needed a bit more of a moment when they're speaking in the air, and, you know, they talk and then she flies off. And then the next time you see her is when she helps with the Galactus.
Right.
You need a bit more. You need, like, her to stay and to talk to Johnny a bit more, and you know, say, "I'm sorry for all I've done," or "I will help when the time comes," or I don't know, just another appearance where you just don't see her again until she does her thing.
I agree with that. The only thing they actually say is that Johnny's trying to give himself instead of Franklin.
Yes.
And she says it's not your sacrifice to give,
which
basically.
is pretty stupid, because you already know that he doesn't want Johnny.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
But that, I agree with you in the fact that that shouldn't have been like one of the last times that we saw her. We should have seen a bit more conflict in her, where maybe she works with the Fantastic Four and then she gets pulled back to Galactus, and then in the end she'll do a bit of a seesaw. But I agree with the fact that it that shouldn't have been one of the last times we saw her, because we enjoyed the character.
Yeah.
And she's a bit of a force to be reckoned with.
And they could have done a bit more with her.
Deleted their whole plan. But I don't know. Again, maybe they have plans for her in the future to come back.
Possibly.
But
Possibly. That's a good
moving
point.
on. Well, the team decides that baiting Galactus is going to be their best bet, don't we?
Yeah, so Reed changes the plan, doesn't he? Because obviously they don't have any of the bridges anymore, because the Silver Surfer destroyed them all. So they only have the one in, is it New York, that one?
Yeah, it's in Times Square.
Times Square, yeah. So Reed's like, we need to use that to transport Galactus away from the Earth instead.
Yep.
And then looks at Sue, and Sue's like, "I know what you're going to do." And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And she's like, "I know what you're going to do."
No, I doesn't.
Yeah, he's literally like, what do you mean?
Yeah, so Sue's not very happy. She goes to Times Square to have a bit of a mope, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't actually say why she's not happy, because he wants to use Franklin as bait, doesn't he?
Yeah.
For Galactus in the middle of this space bridge. So you can see why Sue isn't too happy. But she does end up going along with it, because they don't really have a choice.
And it's not just Sue that's not happy, it's Johnny and Ben as well. They're not
even Reed, they're all not happy. Even Reed's like, this is not...
But it's like the only way, obviously, at the end of the day.
And he makes him a nice little bomb-proof baby... what's it called? Not stroller, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the
baby
little
carrier, yeah.
So after they go to Times Square and they have a little bit of a moment, Sue kind of scares Johnny and Ben in the room, and I like that she uses her powers a lot to like push, shove, and like scare people a lot in the film. It's like really good. She shoves Johnny a couple of times, and then she like blows up a TV, doesn't she? When they're talking about Franklin one time.
Well, she like blows paper at Johnny, doesn't she, to like get his attention.
She's not just like passive like all the time. She can be like offensive like when she needs to. Yeah, and she like really scares the shit out of Ben, and he's like really not happy about it. Is he? Just like, you can't just like appear in a room or something like that.
So yeah, they changed the plan, and then they get the visit from Mole Man at the Baxter Building.
And the idea behind this is that the overworld is going to shelter in Subterranea.
Yes. And again, we love Mole Man when he appears, because I wrote, Mole Man visits Baxter Building, rips on Reed and Johnny, then is cool with Sue. I like this. Because they're kind of, Johnny and Reed are kind of an arsehole to him as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And he comes in and he's got his glasses on, and the room is all light, and they don't dim the lights for him. He asks Herbie to dim the lights, and Herbie does.
I didn't notice that.
And then they're just a bit off with him, and Sue's just like, "Come on, guys," and they leave, and then Sue and Mole Man have a nice little chat, and Mole Man's like, "Yeah, you can hide people.
It's almost like a given, isn't it? It's like he
Yeah.
doesn't even have to ask. He's always
Yeah.
like, if you ask me, then it's the answer's like
He's
always
like, for
yes.
you, Sue, I will.
It's good though. It's very good.
And then, but I like as well. He says, he just says like, you know, we have to have a laugh in these end times, and he's right, because everyone would deal with it differently. Just because Reed and Johnny are all serious doesn't mean that Mole Man can't be laughing and having a joke, because that's how he copes with it.
Yeah.
Because you know he's just a dude, and then they show a little clip of him letting people into Subterranea, and he says, wipe your feet, I'm kidding, it's all dirt, like that, and then he smiles at them. And I just thought that was so good.
I said the humour from Subterranea is very welcome, like during the tension, like it's really, really good.
That's funny.
Ben visits Rachel.
Yes. Jewish lady, Rachel Rosman, and they literally just go, hi, and then the scene cuts.
So this is what threw us off in theatres, because we saw her outside the synagogue, because we know it's a synagogue, don't we? We saw her outside the synagogue, and we thought it was just sort of like, you know, like a youth club or like some sort of club you could like belong
a school,
to.
But
like a church, you know what I mean? Just like a goodwill kind of place. But yeah, it turns out she's Jewish, and it is a synagogue, which they kept under wraps. But when Ben goes to say hi, you can see there's a Star of David on the wall. So.
Yeah. And she's like, did you come here to
for spiritual guidance?
Yeah, or something like that. But I find it so weird how they even include the scene when two people only say hi to each other. I think it's so strange, because if you add another 20 seconds, even if they just say, how are you? And one of them goes, not great, it's scary times. That adds a little bit more to it. And not much, but I just don't get, like, as I said, maybe they're setting it up for later down the line that she's going to be something important to him, or she's going to have some role, but it just seemed like such a weird inclusion of a scene to then just cut, because it literally, once he says hi, it cuts instantly. So it's like, is there more scene here that they just ran out of time, so they had to get rid of?
I think the only other time you see Rachel after that as well, she's in Subterranea.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So she's like with some kids comforting them in whilst Galactus, you know, is like walking around.
Yes.
Again, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but
anyway, that's Rachel Rosman.
That's Rachel Rosman for you. They prep for Galactus's arrival.
Yeah.
As just said, his shadow casting over New York City is fucking dope.
He is huge.
Yeah, I also put down, he takes an unexpected dip, because you know he kind of jumps off his chair, and then like it's almost like, you know, when you're going to put your foot in like ankle high water, and then suddenly it's knee high, and then suddenly it's that. So you think he just jumps
all the way? Yeah. It's like,
oh,
didn't realise it was this deep, sort of thing.
Basically, he's like treading water, but like in the ocean.
I did notice that, and then
I just thought it was funny.
But also the way the water like splashes off him looks really good, because it just like, because he's so big, you can see it sort of like just like when the sea hits a massive ship, it's just like splashing off him, and he's just like whatever.
He's very visibly.
But yeah, he does sink very, very low into the water.
I don't think he knew he was going that deep.
He pulls himself out, doesn't he? He like smells the ground. He's like, this seems good, or whatever.
Yeah, he's got that Batman detective vision. Did you notice that? Like we got a little scan earlier on, you know, when he sort of scanned her tummy.
He did a mini beam, didn't he? Like a meow.
But
this was a big one.
This is a Batman one. Like he could see through buildings and see like nothing else but Franklin.
And it sounds sick.
Yeah,
like the way it does sound like it pierces everything. That beam, like it can scan through whatever.
And it makes so much sense in his scale, because he's so big, like scanning that much stuff is like nothing to him, because he can just see it's like a little ant, isn't it?
And he needs to, because he can't, little bugs, doesn't he? Yeah, so he needs to be able to find a little baby, so he scans, like
got that baby vision, got that Batman baby detective. That's what I wrote. I said, G's got that Batman detective vision. Let's go. I'll put in a little something if you don't know what I'm talking about.
We know. Well, I know.
They do the old switcheroo.
Yeah, they do the old distraction and switcheroo, because Franklin's originally he's the bait as in the bridge, waiting for Galactus, and then when he gets closer, what do they do? Sue does like a force field, so he can't see Johnny, I think, and then Johnny blasts him. Yeah. I think that's what happens anyway. Blasts him in the eyes.
There's a bit of diversion going on.
Yeah. And then Galactus is like, "Arr," and then Johnny picks up Franklin and flies him to the Baxter building and puts him in the top floor with Herbie.
And he gives him a little head rub before he goes. Did you notice
so he gives him a little scratch,
and then he goes off.
He does that loads, doesn't he? Like when he makes him a sandwich, he gives him a little. That's so cute. And then so Johnny drops him off, I think Reed or whoever it is replaces the baby carrier with a fake one without the baby in it, and Galactus doesn't notice until he's about to step in the space bridge. Basically,
no getting away from that baby vision. Let me tell
Literally.
you, there's no way.
He's an all-seeing, all-knowing being as well. So you think that he might be a bit like, something's, which he does. To be fair, he's about to step, and then he says, as you said, he says, "Clever little bugs," and just walks. Doesn't even care about them anymore, does he? He just makes a beeline straight to that Baxter building for this little baby. And yeah, I don't know. They don't fight him on the way, do they? There's no point. They can't do anything.
So Ben is like chucking stuff at him. And then he grabs the other end of something that Ben's trying to throw at him, and then he launches him into the atmosphere. So then Ben and Johnny are out of the equation.
Johnny sets him on fire, doesn't he?
I think so. Yeah, but it's like not really.
He doesn't do anything.
Yeah, basically.
He's just walking like whatever.
Yeah. It's quite cool because again, you know how his spacesuit wasn't sealed off. He's still alive when he's in the atmosphere, but he's like losing oxygen. You can hear him like wheezing, like before Johnny like grabs him and pulls him back. Right. But it just goes to show that he can survive in the atmosphere. It's just like not for long because he's still a human. He still has to breathe air, doesn't he, to like live?
Yeah.
Kind of weird that Johnny didn't really have to, but I guess he was just kind of like in the upper atmosphere as well. He wasn't quite.
It looks like when
bad.
he's out, he is very far out, but you can't tell really, can you, how far out in the atmosphere he is? But it's when Johnny does that, he does seem far out.
Yeah, very confusing as to why Johnny just leaves Franklin and just goes. It's like that's the thing that Galactus is after.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's gonna like detour to like be where he is. I just thought they would like kind of, sort of like adapt to what was going on. But he literally just kind of just like puts him down, scratches Herbie, and then just goes. And I was a bit just like, why are you leaving the kid? Like,
I guess he needed to help out however he could, but he wasn't able to do much, was he? So yeah. I
guess it's a pretty new plan as well, so they didn't really like think out the fact that he could just scan for Franklin and just like find him basically.
Yeah.
Mr. Fantastic gets a good licking, doesn't he?
He does. That's what I was going to say. He starts opening his vents.
Yep.
And he's leaking lava, isn't he?
He's leaking everywhere. He sure is leaking.
That was pretty cool. And then he gets his stretchy moment, his super stretchy moment.
Yeah, I made a note saying that shoulder pain isn't going to get any better after all that stretching.
Need a lot of yellow iodine.
Kind of reminded me, you know, when you get those smiley face yellow men and you'd fucking stretch them as much as you could.
Like you hold this end, I hold this end.
Snap their head off.
Don't let go of it, and then you're like
that's literally what it was. And he's got him all drawn out. Yeah, definitely a lot of shoulder pain. You need a bit more aloe iodine, aren't they?
Yeah, yellow iodine. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Pretty good.
And yeah, he seems like he is at stretching point. That is it. He's nearly going to
tearing his suit.
Kill him.
Like,
yeah, so you know that he's
there.
But then it's clobbering time.
Is it clobbering time? Pretty good. So he's rescued him from the atmosphere and he's bringing him back. Get the famous line. Pretty good.
Yeah. They smash into Galactus, but it doesn't really do much either. He just kind of like takes a hit, and because is it Johnny and Ben, they're both flying in together, don't they? And they both smack him in the face, and then after that he I think they can't do anything after that. They've pretty much used all their powers and skills against him, and he's basically at the building, and Galactus is like looking in the window, and all the safety shutters go down, don't they? And then Franklin's baby carrier thing seals up, and Galactus just rips it through the metal containment and just grabs Franklin like it's nothing. But good to know that the building has those safety precautions, I guess.
Yeah,
but
pretty sweet.
Not going to do much against them.
Didn't really like do anything, did it?
Yeah, and then basically holds Franklin in his hand, doesn't he, and levitates him out.
This was another thing that we said that looked very weird when we were watching it in 3D. It was like a very strange thing to like look at.
Yes.
Because you've got this huge, massive Galactus, and then you've got this little tic-tac like Franklin, and he's really 3D.
And he's floating as well. He's like coming out of his like
he's like holding him like the orb.
Be careful with that little kid.
Yeah, I just said Galactus with hovering Franklin. That's mad weird in 3D. We get this sequence where Sue has had enough.
Yes.
And she's going toe to toe with Galactus.
She hears Franklin crying, doesn't she? And she's like,
because he's got him at this point. He's got him, and he's gonna take him.
He's walking off. Yeah,
he's got him in his hands.
So it's now or never.
It's pretty good. She's able to literally shove him and like hold him down because she shoves him first into a building, and then he's holding on. But I feel like she's sort of like she's still trying to push him, so he's definitely holding him in point.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool how she was like he's being pushed slowly towards the portal, obviously, but she can't do it on her own. So it's this joint effort where you actually feel for once that everyone has a part to play, not just this one has the best powers for this situation, so they're gonna, she's just gonna full power it all the way. Basically, like Ben like knocks down the building, doesn't he?
Yeah, so he can be pushed back even more.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then Johnny goes on the controls to start the countdown. And I can't remember what Reed does now. I don't know if I wrote it down.
I think he's a bit incapacitated, isn't he? Because he's just been stretched.
Oh, Reed grabs Franklin. So Reed is the one that he climbs up Galactus,
so
basically.
While Sue is pushing him
and
back,
the building
Reed goes and gets him.
Yes, because Sue says to him, "Get Franklin," because remember he says stop because he knows the effort is probably going to kill her,
right?
Or something like that. So he's like, "Sue, please," but she's like, "Stop! You need to go and get our son."
Yep. So the building gets knocked down. He gets pushed through the portal.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work for very long, does it? As you kind of suspect in like films like this, you knew like something else was coming.
Yeah.
And
you'd be disappointed if it didn't, wouldn't you? Really.
We get the second time in the film where Johnny is trying to sacrifice himself because he tries to do it first of all to give himself to Galactus.
True.
And then we get this next part where he says, "Oh fuck it, I'm just going to push him through myself."
He is really going to do it this time. Yeah.
So that hit pretty heavy, didn't it? Because you thought, damn, he's going to be one of the Fantastic Four is going to die, like probably along with another one as well, because Sue's exerting herself so much.
Yes.
And then we get the return of Shadowbow.
Yes.
And she doesn't say anything. She literally just smashes Galactus through the portal.
Yeah. Well, when I rewatched it, I noticed that it seems that she goes into Galactus. So I don't know if you'd think that they're going to keep her around because Silver Surfer's such a cool character, but she might be like dispersed back into him because she got her powers from him or some shit like that.
Maybe she like phased through him. You know when she was like blowing up the terminals, the teleport stations. It could have been that. Like could have been that.
Blasted him and then fate. Yeah, because it looked like she hits him, but then she goes through him. So you're probably right. It's probably just her phasing.
I like that though. I thought she literally just like brute force smashed into him like, through the portal.
But it does look like she eventually she hits him first and then gets absorbed. But
that'd probably fuck you up though, just like doing shoulder to shoulder with Galactus. Like it's different when you're telekinetic, but like
definitely
pretty mad. So Johnny almost sacrificed himself, but Silver Surfer takes it instead. Sue's dead from the exertion of what she was doing.
Yeah, and she obviously emotional moment. Everyone's lying on the floor, and then. Could you know when like Franklin was sort of placed on top of her? Did you sort of go like,
of course, because like the baby has the power cosmic, like Galactus has said it already, and it's like if Johnny didn't die in that moment, then they're not gonna kill off Sue like 2 minutes later. They're gonna get out the film as the Fantastic Four. There's not gonna be one of them that dies, is there?
And I was thinking if they did. Like that would be such a big loss because of her powers and stuff.
She's such an asset to the film as well.
Like what would they do?
Vital
and
role
because she was so good in the film as well, like everyone would be like, "Oh, that is." It would hit harder, but then it would be like, "Oh man, she would be really good." And as part of the whole MCU, but
I just said CPR fails and baby turns into CGI baby when it starts to like wriggle and disturb because you can tell that baby was an absolute saint, the one that they were filming with like initially, because there's like. Obviously, you're going to capture all the good parts of a baby when they're on camera, but it feels like it's one of those babies that you can't get them to like cry and like disturb and stuff on camera. So I noticed the difference, especially when Ben's like holding it, because Ben's very CGI and then the baby's like very CGI. I think to like get the baby like stirring and crying and put a bit of emotion in it to like kind of show us that it knows what's going on, which is mad. They had to make the baby CGI. So
and then his eyes go as like purple, don't they? As well.
I think that's Sue's.
Oh,
Sue, right. Sue, because he just like touches her with the power cosmic, and that's the power cosmic like bringing her back, basically. Oh yeah, spoilers. So,
that's
pretty good ending. Yeah.
Yeah. I quite liked it. I thought it rounded off well, and then everyone lives.
Everyone
you get the feeling Galactus is going to be back at some point, but I don't know how or when. But he's not dead, obviously. But you might consider that without anything to feed on, he'll die. But
Or maybe
he's at
he'll
the edge of
just
space,
eat like any. It's not like a selection. How he's like he just eats any.
he might find a way, mightn't he,
Yeah.
to survive. So I would like them to do that. I would like them to like make Galactus kind of even worse, if possible, of a villain. Like, you know, you thought you'd done good doing this, but you've actually made it worse because now
He's mad.
he
Like,
eats everything.
yeah,
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the
like,
hunger is
he
his
doesn't
hunger to get back
doesn't
to you.
select
has
worlds.
been-
He just
yeah.
devours whatever
That's
comes
pretty
into
much
his
what
path.
I was getting at. Like he just eats anything like
Yeah.
in sight. Yeah, they have a TV appearance before they like finish the
Yes.
film, and Johnny is still going on about Shalabal. He's talking about how the board is not actually a part of her body, and the makeup person is just like, oh fucking
Yes.
shut up. Like, so funny. Like, still going on about her.
He's still obsessed.
Guy is absolutely smitten.
So
Yeah.
that makes you think that she'll be back.
Right, and then we have this like nice little gag where they struggle to install the car seat in the
Yes.
car, and it's like
That's quite funny.
it was nice. I liked it.
Kinda
I didn't dislike it.
No,
Sue's
no.
kind of just standing there like fucking hell, like get
Yeah,
a grip.
useless men
And
sort of thing.
you know, if you were like in front of the public like that, you would probably fumble as well.
Yeah.
Like there's probably a lot of pressure on you
and
to get the car
I've
seat
seen
in.
clips of like 3 guys trying to like dismantle a stroller
Yeah.
and them not being able to do it for like 10 minutes as well. So I find that like so funny.
Yeah,
'Cause
pretty
it's actually
good.
probably accurate.
Yeah.
But-
Before we get on to our overall opinion, should we talk about this post-credit scene?
Yeah, definitely.
So we have the appearance of Doctor Doom.
Yes.
Obviously, and unless you're sleeping under a rock, you know that it's obviously setting up for Avengers Doomsday.
Robert Downey
Right.
Jr.
Pretty good. We got our guy coming back.
Yeah.
Don't know how we feel about it, do we?
No.
I guess we'll see when it happens. I don't think he's very best suited to like a villainous role, but RDJ has a good range, so I feel like he could pull it off.
Yeah, I think he could pull it off, but I've been thinking a bit about it recently because of that cutscene, and I have a feeling that he's not really going to be a villain. He's going to be one of those villains that you think is a villain, but he actually needs your help because there's someone else out there that's worse.
So like an anti-hero kind of type.
Kind of like,
Yeah.
like I think that he's come to Franklin Richards because he needs his help,
Yeah.
and he thinks he would be older, or he's like preparing him for years to come.
Yeah.
Because Doom is all about like time changing, isn't it?
I
Like
think
Doom is
so,
so
yeah.
involved with like different things happening in the MCU and different at different points in time, I think. So I feel like he's grooming or preparing or just scouting out Franklin for talent because he's going to need him.
Yeah.
And Doom is going to probably need other people as well. Do you know what I mean? Because he's really powerful, but he like I don't know if it will be Galactus as the big bad, but it might be someone bigger. But I don't know who they'd do because obviously they've done Thanos now, so they're kind of trying to find who can be the next bigger bad than Thanos, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
So that's what I just thought. It's possible that they go that route with it, possibly.
Interesting.
But it might just be that he is the villain. Doom is the big bad.
Yeah. I'd like to think that it's more so like closer to yours, like it's a bit more intricate than you think, and it's not just like, oh my god, Doctor, because it's like the same thing, isn't it? It's just like
Exactly.
Galactus trying to steal him, now Doctor Doom.
Exactly.
It's probably a bit like beaten at that point.
It would be
isn't
more
it?
interesting to have a villain that is a piece of shit, but is not as bad a piece of shit as this villain. So you need that villain to help you take out this villain. That makes it more complex. Because then all these questions come in. What happens when that villain gets taken out? You know, will that other one go back to being a prick?
Yeah, what kind of state are the Avengers going to be in when Doomsday comes around?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So interesting. And then there was one more cutscene, but that was just like showing was it the old cartoon? The
I think
Fantastic
so,
Four
yeah.
cartoon. So
Just
it's
like,
not too much to talk about.
It was a nice little reference, you know, not the greatest like post credit scene,
But still,
it wasn't necessary.
just one of those ones that gets funneled in there.
Just fine. So yeah, overall, I'd say I'd enjoy this film a lot. Like it was a good experience to go see in cinema. We didn't
agree.
even know we were going to see it in 3D, but we did anyway. So it made some bits better, it made some bits worse.
Yeah.
But you know, that's kind of just how it is. Like sometimes you rock up and you don't see the 3D little tag on the end of the title.
No,
So,
completely missed it. That's my bad.
I don't think this is going to be enough to revive the Marvel franchise. I'm not going to lie.
I think it's a good start,
Yeah.
but on its own, it's not. You couldn't say we're back, but we are definitely
We're getting
getting to a place where we could be back.
As long as they follow
But-
the same style as that film, like, but that's going to be
Yes.
so hard.
That's the thing. You can't really replicate that because Fantastic Four is kind of its own
good
standalone
in
thing,
itself,
isn't it?
yeah.
So
It doesn't
the
rely on
question
anything else.
becomes, can they tie this in kind of well? And like the idea that I mentioned, are they going to do something like that, or are they just going to go boring?
Are they just going to
and
like put them in the Avengers and just like water them down?
Or are they going to create something new, a little bit new? Or are they going to try and, recreate something from the comics? Like, we're going to do this story, but then this writer's got enough balls to put their own spin on it. So at the end of it, something unexpected happens, and you're like, "What? This changes everything." But you need good writers for that, and I'm not a writer, so I don't know what to say.
Yeah, good cast. A lot of good people in this. We got
amazing chemistry.
Pedro Pascal. This is like his fourth franchise that he's like not riding the coat. That's a horrible thing to say, but like this guy's raking it in right now, and
crazy.
you're loving it. Like Sue Storm, Vanessa Kirby. Ironic that she has the same last name as the creator that we said initially of the Fantastic Four. They're not related, but they share the same one.
Yeah.
Johnny Storm is Joseph Quinn. We obviously saw him in Stranger Things. Really good guy. We like him.
Yeah.
We saw Gladiator 2, and Pedro Pascal and him were in it together, weren't they?
Yes.
He was one of the brothers.
Yes,
I was trying to remember where I saw him recently, and it was Gladiator 2.
I forgot he was in it. He was one of the the princess, wasn't he?
That's right.
Yes.
We got Evan Moss.
He was great.
He's good in anything he's in, really, because he has like an aura about him. He's like we said before, he's a very Brooklyn guy, so he brought it to the character.
I feel like he'll get more work now because of that, though, because it sort of shows that he's
bit more mainstream work.
Not just chef stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not just chef; it's like indie stuff. He wasn't in anything huge, but like he is well like known actor.
Yeah, he's a really good actor.
Silver Surfer Julia Garner. Played it well. Wish we could have seen her a bit more throughout the film.
She did well what she had.
Don't really have anything bad to say. And Mole Man, Harvey Elder is his name in the thing, but the actor is Paul Waterhauser.
He was jokes.
So shout out to him. He gave us a good few laughs. Hope to see him in more stuff, because I can't recall seeing him in anything else.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've seen him in anything.
I think so. Vanessa Kirby's from Fast and Furious. Yeah, we got Joseph Quinn, Stranger Things, Evan Moss the Bear. I haven't seen Julia Garner in anything.
No, I think
Pedro Pascal was in fucking everything at the same time at the moment. But yeah,
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really, as I said at the start, a really hopeful movie. It just you left it and you felt quite good.
Yeah,
and I enjoyed it a lot. Even the 3D. I probably would have chose to not see it in 3D if we could have.
Right.
But it didn't ruin it, did it?
No, not at all.
So
not by a long shot.
I'd give it a pretty solid rating. But as we said, it's not saving the MCU. But it's definitely it's called First Steps, isn't it?
Yeah,
and I'd say it is a good first step.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anything negative to say, or do you not want to leave it on?
I'm not going to leave it on a negative, but I've just said it before. I just said this film is very jumpy. It reminds me of when kind of George Lucas was making the prequels, and he's panicking about it being so jumpy. And then he's sort of like, well, I can't take this out because that leads into this and then this leads into there. I feel like there was a bit of that in this film. And then if you weren't as well versed in just general knowledge about the Fantastic Four or just like space in general, you'd be very confused. Because like, if you don't know anything about space, you don't know that it takes you like weeks and months to travel, even though they're doing this jumping.
Yeah.
On the way back, we don't know how long it took them. We don't know how long Silver Surfer was stuck
and
for.
I feel that they could have solved issues like that with a simple comment on the bottom saying 1 month later.
That's
all it takes.
That's my only gripe about it.
And you don't have to do it that much. You don't have to do it every time jumps. You don't have to say a week later. But when there is that disparity between when you're just not sure how long it's been, you should just clear it up a bit.
Yeah.
Even if it's like roughly 1 month later. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be the exact.
Because you can do that, but like it's just like a lot of, or you cannot do that, but like a lot of it's just gonna fly over the audience's head. Because like we were talking about her baby bump just coming in like suddenly. It's like find out she's pregnant and then she comes through the door when Herbie's building the crib and she is like so heavily pregnant and you're just like, how much time has it been? Anyway, I'm not gonna bang on about it. I liked it overall. Like. It's quite nice to leave a theatre and not regret going out to see a film, which happens a lot.
And spending your hard-earned money.
We saw 28 Years Later recently. We liked that a lot. It was pretty good. I think we're gonna be doing that next. We'll go through the franchise.
Yeah.
And Fantastic Four was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
What's our rating scale gonna be?
I don't know.
How out of 10 grepples? What would you
Grepples? I don't know.
I'd give it like 8.5 grepples. It's not a 9.
No, I wouldn't. I think I'd be a little bit harsher. I'd be like a 7.5.
Okay.
But
I'd say I'd still stick with 8.5. I'd say.
Yeah. No, I'd say it was enjoyable, but it's not one of those films where you'd be like, I have to go and see that again.
No. But again, if they're like leading into a franchise, then it's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah.
Or if it stands alone, then it might be okay. But like we have made a few good points that we want to see it like go somewhere, and there's a lot of plot points that can be taken further.
And maybe like rating system, like we should come up with our own one of like it's worth seeing in theaters. Like maybe that should be like a rating, like to show like
so
it's worth.
What's your opinion?
I would say it's worth seeing in theaters.
I'd say too, because we said we'd see it without the 3D as well. So it would be nice to see it in 2D.
Yeah.
It'd be all right.
Yeah, maybe I'm just thinking. I don't know how we do that. We need like different names for like. Wouldn't buy it on DVD. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you get where I'm going with it?
We'll make a little list after today.
I would see it twice in theaters.
So we got rating Grapplers out of 10. We got would you see it in theater?
Yeah.
Would you buy it on DVD?
Would you see it in theater again? Or IMAX or something? I don't know. See what I mean? We have to figure it out.
Would you watch it again? But anyway,
I don't know.
See where it goes from there. Should we wrap it up there?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Thank you very much for watching. That was the Two Brothers Reviews. First of many, there's going to be a new web series that we're trying out.
Yep.
We're going to make a brand new channel to post it to. If you like it, give us a like and subscribe. It's free. Many more to come.
Yep.
Stay tuned.
We'll catch you in the next one.
Much.
Bye.
Bye.